Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment in every life when the weight feels too heavy, the road too long, and the soul whispers, "I can't go on." But that whisper is never the truth. It's simply the echo of a moment of doubt. And today, I want you to hear a louder voice within you, one that says, with unwavering certainty, fight through it. Challenges are not placed in your life to crush you. They arrive to reveal the strength you were unaware you possessed. Every difficulty you face is like a mirror held up to show you a deeper layer of yourself, a version that only emerges when pressure is applied. Most people assume that struggle is a sign of weakness or failure, but in truth, it is the universe's invitation to awaken the power within you. When something feels heavy, it doesn't mean you are incapable. It means there is a level of strength inside you that has not yet been activated. Life's most powerful lessons are never delivered through comfort. Comfort keeps you where you are, while challenges push you into who you are meant to be. Every time you confront a hardship, you are given a chance to expand your courage, sharpen your resilience, and deepen your understanding of your true capacity. Think back on the moments that made you who you are today. Most of them were not easy. They were moments that stretched you, moments that forced you to grow, moments that felt overwhelming, but ultimately left you wiser, stronger, and more aware of what you can endure. These experiences shape your character far more than any smooth or effortless chapter ever could. When you stand in the middle of adversity, you may feel fragile or uncertain, but beneath that surface is a reservoir of strength waiting for you to tap into it. You discover it when you take one more step, when you refuse to retreat, when you choose courage over fear even if your voice shakes. Strength is not built by avoiding hardship, but by walking through it with faith and determination. Challenges also reveal your power by stripping away illusions about your limits. Many people believe they can only handle so much until life pushes them a little further, and then they realize they can endure far more than they imagine. This revelation does not come from reading a quote or listening to a lesson. It comes from living through something difficult and recognizing that you did not break. Inner strength grows every time you survive a moment you thought you couldn't. It grows every time you act despite uncertainty, every time you keep going despite fear, every time you stand up one more time than you fall. Challenges do not weaken you. They initiate you into a stronger, braver, more conscious version of yourself. Every obstacle you encounter in life carries a deeper purpose, even when it feels like a setback or an interruption to your plans. Many people see challenges as barriers designed to stop them, but in truth, they are doorways inviting you into greater wisdom, strength, and self-awareness. When something stands in your path, it is not there to punish you, it is there to prepare you. Life uses difficulty as a tool to refine your character, expand your inner capacities, and guide you toward a higher direction. If everything were easy, you would remain the same person forever, never discovering new levels of courage or resilience. Obstacles serve as catalysts for transformation, calling you to step into a stronger version of yourself. Often, what appears to be a discouraging barrier is actually the universe redirecting you, nudging you away from what no longer serves you and toward what will elevate you. A closed door can feel painful, but many times it is protecting you from something not meant for your growth. When you reinterpret obstacles as guidance rather than defeat, you begin to move through life with clarity and purpose. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" That shift changes everything. You begin to see that every delay carries a lesson, every difficulty contains an opportunity, and every block in the road is shaping your path in ways that will make sense later. Obstacles also force you to develop qualities you may not have cultivated otherwise. Patience grows when you feel stuck. Strength grows when you feel overwhelmed. Wisdom grows when you question everything. Faith grows when you face uncertainty. These qualities do not emerge in comfortable seasons. They emerge when life challenges you to rise above your fears, doubts, and limitations. Without these moments of resistance, you would never access the deeper dimensions of your potential. Just like a muscle only grows when it meets resistance, your spirit grows when life asks you to push through something difficult. Moreover, obstacles often act as mirrors, revealing your beliefs about yourself and inviting you to challenge those beliefs. When you face a roadblock, you confront parts of yourself you may have avoided, fears you haven't addressed, limits you've accepted, stories you've been telling yourself about what you can or cannot do. By moving through the obstacle, you dismantle these old beliefs and replace them with a clearer understanding of who you truly are. In this way, obstacles are not interruptions to your life. They are essential parts of your evolution, guiding you toward greater strength, clarity, and purpose. There is a powerful truth about resilience that many people overlook. The moment you decide not to give up, something in the universe shifts in your favor. It is as if life itself leans forward to meet you because persistence sends a signal that you are serious about your growth, your purpose, and your path. When you hold firm in the face of difficulty, you create an energetic alignment that invites support, clarity, and unexpected breakthroughs. It may not happen instantly or in the way you imagine, but resilience has a magnetic quality. It draws solutions, people, opportunities, and inner strength you didn't know you had. The universe responds to those who refuse to retreat, because persistence reflects trust. Trust in yourself, in your path, and in something greater that is guiding you even when you cannot see the next step clearly. Resilience is not about pretending everything is easy. It is about staying committed even when everything feels difficult. It is the quiet decision you make at your lowest moments, when your mind tries to convince you that there is no point in trying anymore. When you choose to keep going anyway, you send a message to life that you are ready to grow beyond the limits of the past. Challenges begin to lose their power over you. Fear begins to loosen its grip. Even uncertainty becomes less intimidating because you realize you do not need to see the entire path. You only need the courage to take the next step. Every time you choose persistence over surrender, you strengthen an internal force that becomes more resilient with each test. The universe mirrors the energy you offer. If your energy says, "I am defeated," you will notice more obstacles, but if your energy says, "I will rise no matter what," life meets you at that level of determination. Doors begin to open, sometimes in places you never expected. People arrive who guide or support you. Ideas emerge that bring clarity. A shift in direction appears that suddenly makes sense. These are not coincidences. They are responses to your willingness to keep moving forward even when the way is uncertain. Resilience aligns you with possibilities that only reveal themselves to those who refuse to quit. At its core, resilience is an expression of belief. Belief that you are meant for more. Belief that challenges are temporary. Belief that strength can grow even in the darkest seasons. When you stay committed, you tap into an invisible current that carries you toward transformation. The universe recognizes your persistence as a declaration of your readiness, and in return, it supports your journey in ways you may not fully understand until you look back and realize how far your resilience has taken you. There is a profound difference between the voice of your mind and the voice of your spirit, and understanding this difference can change the way you face every challenge in life. The mind is shaped by past experiences, fears, doubts, and limitations. It remembers every hurt, every failure, every time you felt unprepared or unworthy, and it uses those memories to convince you that you cannot rise any higher. The mind clings to safety and familiar patterns, even when those patterns keep you stuck. So when life becomes difficult, the mind will often whisper that you are not strong enough, wise enough, or capable enough to move forward. but that voice is not the truth. Beneath it lies a deeper, wiser voice, the voice of your spirit, the part of you that remembers who you truly are. Your spirit does not think in terms of limits or boundaries. It is not concerned with past mistakes or future fears. It knows your potential, your purpose, and your inherent strength. It knows that you are far more powerful than the doubts that cloud your thinking. When challenges arise and the mind tries to shrink in fear, the spirit rises in clarity. It reminds you that you are connected to a source of strength that cannot be reduced by temporary circumstances. It nudges you to keep going, even when you feel uncertain. It whispers that something greater is unfolding, something you can only discover by refusing to give in to the mind's narrow view. Every moment of difficulty becomes a moment of choice. Will you listen to the voice that remembers your limits, or the voice that remembers your freedom? Choosing the voice of your spirit does not mean you disregard your fears. It means you rise above them. It means you acknowledge that fear is natural, but it is not in charge. When you align with your spirit, you begin to trust your inner wisdom more than the noise of doubt. You begin to recognize that the part of you urging you to keep going is stronger than the part of you wanting to give up. This is where real transformation begins. Your spirit invites you to see challenges as opportunities to return to your true self. It encourages you to step into your resilience, your courage, and your purpose. It reminds you that you are capable of far more than you imagine when you rely only on the mind. As you grow more familiar with this inner voice, you realize that it never abandons you. It is present in every struggle, waiting for you to choose it. And each time you choose the voice of your spirit over the voice of fear, you reclaim more of your strength, more of your clarity, and more of the limitless potential that has always been within you. Many people spend their lives trying to meet expectations that were never meant for them. Expectations from society, family, peers, or old versions of themselves. They chase approval, validation, and acceptance, believing that their worth depends on how closely they fit the image others have created for them. But the truth is that you were not born to fulfill anyone else's script. You were born with a unique path, a distinct purpose, and a personal calling that cannot be defined by external voices. When you try to live according to the expectations of others, you disconnect from your own inner guidance and silence the quiet wisdom that knows where you truly belong. This is why so many people feel unfulfilled even when they appear successful on the outside. They've built a life that pleases everyone but themselves. Your destiny is not found by looking outward. It is discovered by turning inward. Your soul carries its own blueprint, its own compass that points toward what lights you up, what energizes you, what brings you peace, and what awakens your passion. Living in alignment with that inner truth requires the courage to step away from the noise, the pressure, and the opinions that try to shape your life. It means recognizing that nobody else can define what success means for you. Nobody else can tell you what purpose you were born to fulfill. When you honor your own calling, you begin to walk a path that feels authentic and alive, a path where you are no longer performing but truly living. Breaking free from others' expectations doesn't mean rejecting the people around you. It means releasing the idea that your worth depends on their approval. It means understanding that being true to yourself is not selfish but essential. When you follow someone else's path, you shrink. When you follow your own, you expand. You begin to make decisions based on intuition rather than pressure, clarity rather than fear. This inner alignment opens doors that were invisible when you were trying to fit into someone else's mold. Your energy shifts, your confidence grows, and opportunities begin to appear that resonate with your real self rather than the version you pretended to be. Your destiny is always calling, but it can only be heard when you stop chasing external validation and start trusting your own inner voice. Life becomes far more meaningful when your actions are rooted in authenticity rather than expectation. You discover that fulfillment comes not from being who others want you to be, but from becoming who you were always meant to be. And when you step fully into that truth, you realize that your real power has been waiting for you all along. There is a deep and constant presence within you that never leaves your side, even in the moments when you feel most alone. Many people believe that isolation means abandonment, but solitude does not mean the absence of support. You carry within you an inner wisdom, a quiet guidance that speaks gently but powerfully, especially when life becomes difficult. It is the voice of intuition, the spark of the divine, the higher awareness that knows your path even when your mind feels confused or overwhelmed. When the world seems distant or unsupportive, this inner presence becomes more noticeable, urging you to trust that you are guided, protected, and connected to something much bigger than your circumstances. This inner guidance often expresses itself as a feeling, a nudge, a sense of knowing without explanation. It encourages you to keep going when everything feels heavy. It whispers clarity when your thoughts are tangled. It offers comfort when your heart feels burdened. Even when you doubt yourself, this inner wisdom does not waver. It waits patiently for you to slow down, breathe, and listen. The moments when you feel most alone are often the moments when this guidance is the strongest, because it steps forward to fill the space that fear or uncertainty has created. You are never truly without direction. You simply have to tune into a deeper level of awareness. People often search outside themselves for reassurance, but the most reliable source of strength is already within them. External support is meaningful, but it is not the foundation you can depend on in every season of life. Circumstances change, people come and go, opinions shift, but your inner guidance remains steady. It is rooted in truth, not insecurity. It sees the bigger picture, not just the present discomfort. When you learn to trust this inner presence, you begin to move through challenges with greater ease, because you no longer feel abandoned or unsupported. You recognize that clarity comes from within, not from the noise of the world. This guidance also helps you understand that even the hardest experiences are part of a purposeful path. It shows you that struggle is not a sign of separation, but an invitation to connect more deeply with your inner strength. When you rely on this inner wisdom, you stop panicking in uncertainty and start trusting the unfolding of your journey. You realize that something within you always knows the way forward, even when you cannot see the full path ahead. And as you continue to lean into this guidance, you discover that you were never alone in any moment of your life, because a steady, sacred presence has always been walking with you from within. Difficult moments in life often feel like signs that everything is slipping away or falling apart, but they are rarely indicators of failure. More often, they are signals of transformation, moments where life is rearranging itself to bring you into better alignment with your true path. When circumstances become uncomfortable, it can be tempting to assume that something has gone wrong. Yet discomfort is often the birthplace of clarity. It shakes you out of old patterns, pushes you beyond familiar limits, and invites you to see what you were unable to see before. What feels like disruption is often preparation, and what feels like loss is sometimes clearing space for something new to emerge. Transformation rarely happens in moments of ease. Growth asks for movement, expansion, and change, and these processes can feel unsettling. When life removes something, delays something, or shifts something unexpectedly, it may be redirecting you away from what no longer serves your evolution. The mind resists this because it prefers certainty and familiarity, even if those familiar things no longer support your potential. But your deeper self, the part of you aligned with purpose, understands that change is necessary for your unfolding. Difficult moments push you to question what you truly want, what truly matters, and what you are ready to release. They become turning points that shape a stronger, wiser, more awakened version of you. Many people look back on their hardest seasons and realize that those very moments guided them to something greater, whether it was a new direction, a deeper sense of self, or a clearer understanding of their capacity to endure. At the time, the pain felt heavy and confusing, but later it becomes obvious that without that disruption, they would still be stuck in a life too small for who they were meant to become. Hard times illuminate the truth, stripping away illusions and revealing what is real. They expose connections that aren't genuine, habits that drain your energy, and beliefs that limit your potential. In this way, hardship acts as a powerful teacher, showing you what no longer belongs on your path. When you face a difficult moment, it is important to remember that life often aligns you with your purpose by removing the things that keep you from it. This alignment does not always feel gentle, but it is always intentional. Something greater is being shaped within you, and something wiser is unfolding around you. The discomfort you feel is not punishment, it is the stretching that happens when you are growing. The confusion you feel is not chaos, it is the rearranging of your path so that it better matches the person you are becoming. And the pain you feel is not the end of your journey, it is the beginning of a deeper clarity that will lead you to a more grounded and purposeful version of your life. Persistence is one of the most powerful forces a person can cultivate, and it is through consistent effort in the face of resistance that true growth occurs. Life's challenges are not meant to stop you but to strengthen you, and the very pressure you encounter is an invitation to rise above what is familiar and easy. Just as muscles grow stronger under resistance, your character, resilience, and clarity deepen when you persist through difficulty. The act of continuing, even when the path seems unclear, builds an inner strength that cannot be shaken by circumstances. Every obstacle met with determination becomes a step toward personal evolution, a testament to your commitment to yourself and your purpose. Pressure often feels uncomfortable, even overwhelming, but it is precisely this discomfort that catalyzes growth. If life were easy, there would be no reason to stretch, no motivation to explore untapped potential, and no opportunity to discover the depths of your own courage. Resistance is a natural part of the process that shapes you into someone capable of handling more than you ever imagined. By meeting difficulty with persistence, you train yourself to navigate uncertainty, overcome fear, and act decisively in situations that would have previously felt insurmountable. Each time you choose to keep moving, you create momentum that carries you forward, reinforcing your belief in your own capabilities and in the possibility of transformation. The beauty of persistence is that it is cumulative. Every small step taken despite fear or doubt compounds over time, creating a foundation of confidence and resilience. Even when progress seems slow, every effort matters. Life often rewards the steadfast with insights, opportunities, and solutions that only emerge through sustained commitment. By refusing to give in to discouragement, you send a clear message to yourself and the world that you are not defined by temporary setbacks, but by your dedication to moving forward. This inner consistency begins to attract alignment, drawing circumstances, people, and resources toward you that support your growth and your vision. Persistence also transforms the way you experience challenges. When you approach obstacles as opportunities to exercise determination rather than as threats, resistance loses much of its power over you. You begin to see pressure not as a signal to quit, but as a sign that something valuable is being cultivated within you. Through persistence, fear becomes manageable, doubt becomes temporary, and uncertainty becomes an invitation to practice faith and courage. By holding steady and continuing to act, you develop a resilience that is far deeper than any skill or knowledge alone could provide. Over time, this resilience becomes a defining feature of your character, shaping not only your ability to overcome challenges, but also your capacity to embrace life fully and courageously. Adversity is not simply an obstacle to be avoided. It is a powerful force that shapes character, deepens purpose, and awakens higher awareness. When life presents challenges, it is not intending to punish you, but to invite you to grow, expand, and evolve. Every difficult situation holds the potential to teach, to strengthen, and to reveal dimensions of yourself that remain dormant during comfort and ease. Without adversity, many of the qualities that define your strength, patience, courage, resilience, empathy, and wisdom, would remain undeveloped. It is in the face of difficulty that these attributes are called forth, like seeds breaking through soil into sunlight. Life's hardships serve as catalysts, pushing you to confront limitations, reconsider perspectives, and cultivate inner resources you may not have realized were within you. When challenges arise, they often expose the illusions you hold about yourself and the world around you. They reveal where your attachments, fears, or unexamined beliefs may have been restricting growth. Adversity functions as a mirror, showing you what is real and what is superficial in your life. It forces you to confront uncomfortable truths, to release what no longer serves you, and to embrace the discomfort necessary for transformation. In doing so, you gain clarity about your priorities, your values, and your capacity to rise above circumstances that once seemed overwhelming. Through this process, you begin to understand that life is not about avoiding difficulty, but about learning to navigate it with strength, grace, and awareness. Adversity also strengthens your connection to purpose. When everything flows smoothly, it is easy to lose sight of why you are on your path. Challenges, however, remind you that growth is essential and that every trial carries a lesson meant to propel you forward. Each hardship encourages self-reflection, deepens understanding, and heightens sensitivity to the experiences of others. It teaches empathy, humility, and patience, allowing you to become not only stronger in facing your own struggles, but also more capable of supporting and inspiring those around you. The strength developed in adversity becomes a foundation for leadership, influence, and personal transformation. Moreover, adversity builds resilience by teaching the art of perseverance. It challenges you to remain committed to your values, your goals, and your inner truth even when circumstances are difficult. Every time you face resistance without surrendering, you reinforce an inner strength that becomes a core part of who you are. This process gradually transforms fear into confidence, doubt into clarity, and uncertainty into determination. The experiences you once thought were obstacles now become milestones, marking your growth and reminding you that true strength is forged through confrontation with life's trials. By embracing adversity, you allow it to guide, shape, and elevate you, turning challenges into stepping stones toward a higher version of yourself. The moment you decide to keep moving forward, even in the face of struggle, is the moment you open the door to your breakthrough. Many people wait for the perfect conditions, the ideal timing, or external validation before they act. But life rarely presents a situation without challenges. Breakthroughs do not occur when everything is easy. They occur when you persist through difficulty, when you refuse to surrender to doubt, fear, or frustration. It is the act of continuing despite obstacles that signals your readiness for transformation. Each step you take, no matter how small, builds momentum and aligns you with opportunities and insights that were previously invisible. Persistence is the bridge between struggle and success, between frustration and clarity, between limitation and expansion. Breakthroughs are rarely instantaneous. They emerge gradually, often in ways that you cannot anticipate while you are in the midst of struggle. Life uses persistence as a refining process, shaping your character, expanding your resilience, and heightening your awareness so that when the breakthrough arrives, you are fully prepared to embrace it. Each challenge you face is not meant to stop you, but to cultivate patience, wisdom, and inner strength. The very act of fighting through adversity strengthens you in ways that ease never could. When you stay committed, you begin to see patterns, solutions, and possibilities that were hidden when you were thinking only in terms of immediate difficulty. Moreover, breakthroughs are as much internal as they are external. The victory is not only in achieving a goal, but in discovering that your capacity to endure, persevere, and grow is far greater than you imagined. By choosing to keep moving forward, you strengthen your belief in yourself and in the power of your own determination. You realize that you are capable of handling uncertainty, of overcoming fear, and of transforming obstacles into stepping stones. This inner transformation is what allows breakthroughs to have lasting impact. It ensures that success is meaningful, not fleeting, because it is built upon the foundation of your personal growth and resilience. Persistence also reshapes your perception of difficulty. When you commit to moving forward despite hardship, challenges lose much of their power to intimidate or overwhelm you. You begin to see resistance as a necessary part of growth rather than as a signal to stop. Every step taken in faith, every action chosen in courage, compounds into a force that propels you toward the life you are capable of creating. Breakthroughs occur when determination meets opportunity, when patience meets timing, and when trust in yourself surpasses the fear of the unknown. By continuing to fight through the struggle, you align with the natural unfolding of your potential and set the stage for profound transformation.